What's up, guys? DubbleAction here. I got a pretty good idea from a buddy of mine at work. He had an idea to make a solvent tank for gun cleaning out of just some ordinary things that are real easy to come by. So what I've done is I've gotten just a plastic pail here. I got this from the dollar store, and I got a aquarium air pump, and that was fairly inexpensive. I think it was like maybe $10 or $12, something like that. And I got a sifter, like a kitchen sifter I got from the dollar store, and I modified it. And here that is. I modified it. I cut the handle off and I bent these little tines here so that this thing will fit right down inside of this pail, and it'll kind of sit up off the bottom a little bit. So the idea is you take the air pump, you hook it up, you put the stone under this thing. I think I'm actually going to wire it right to this so that it actually agitates the cleaning solution right under here to get the parts a little bit cleaner. And the solvent I'm going to use is going to be WD-40. My first attempt at this failed. I used simple green, and I guess I just wasn't thinking about it, but what happened was it foamed up like crazy. Within a couple of minutes I had to foam this high up out of the bucket. So this is actually attempt number 2. So I'm going to stop the camera and I'm going to put this thing together. Okay, so now I've taken this air hose here, I used a couple little twisty ties, and I tied this so the stone is directly underneath this little parts cleaning basket. And now we'll put it inside the bucket. And that sits right up off the bottom a little bit. Just gotta get it to sit in there a little bit better. There you go. That sits up off the bottom. I don't know if you can see it real well, but it's up off the bottom probably a couple of inches, maybe an inch or two. And that's going to be perfect, I think. And so now I'll put some cleaning solvent in there. Okay, now that's full probably up to about here, just enough to cover this basket. And let's put a little air to it and see what happens. So I think we have success. It's detached from the tripod here. Look at this. How well you can see that. The lighting is not great in here. It's inside my garage, but look at that. It's not foaming up. And we got a little bit of bubble action there, but I don't think that's going to hurt anything. It's not foaming up over the top of the bucket like it was with the simple green. But this seems to be working very, very well. I think I could probably leave some dirty, nasty parts in there for as long as I want to. I don't have to worry about this foaming up and coming up over the top of the bucket. And I think it's sure going to beat the heck out of scrubbing each part individually. After you go into the range with, you know, 4, 5, 6 guns, however many guns you bring with you to the range, I think this will make cleaning a whole lot easier. And it's WD-40, so it's not going to hurt anything. It's a rust inhibitor. It lubricates. It's good stuff. I was actually looking for this stuff called CLP that we used to use in the military, but I can't find that stuff anywhere. I'll have to look around a little harder. This is what I got in a pinch, but hopefully this will work well. If not, then I'll just look around more for that CLP. So I'll put some gun parts in here and see how it gets. See how it works. Okay, so now I've had these parts in here for a little while. I'm going to take them out and got this little thing here, so that when I take, well, let me unplug this, shut that thing off, and like I said, I've got this little container here. I'm going to be real careful not to spill these parts out. I'll take it right out of here, put it in here so I don't make a mess. Now I'm going to stick this right over here. Okay. I've got this thing completely taken apart, well, almost completely. I didn't take the frame out of the grip, but everything else is taken apart, even right down to the firing pin. Took the firing pin out of the slide assembly. That's all right here in this basket. Got the springs, both of them. Got the guide rod, the extractor spring. There's the extractor, the screw, extractor screw. Got the retaining pin here. This is the firing pin spring. There's my firing pin. That's everything. You got to use a real fine mesh like that, because there's these little itty bitty parts that could fall right through if you're not using something big enough. Let me change my camera angle here so we can get a little bit better view of what I'm doing. This camera angle is kind of far away. Okay, here you go. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to take a shop rag here. We'll wipe down all these parts. And just wipe them down, blot them down the best we can. I'm still going to punch this barrel out. Let me do that right now. My swab right here. A bore brush. Still going to punch this out. And then I'll run a swab down it. Okay, so now we got all our nice clean parts here. Everything's all oiled up already. It was just had an oil bath, for crying out loud, so we're not going to put any more oil on it. We're just going to start reassembling this thing. Clean as a whistle. Alright, this is Double Action. Thanks for watching. Bye now.